Manish.
Yes.
Did you ever write a book?
Did I ever write a book? Absolutely not.
Did you think of writing a book?
I think we've all thought about like stories in our mind that, oh, if I could write something like this, but none of us are really talented enough to do that.
Because we were not disciplined, I guess.
That's right, and just not talented enough to do it.
And today we have with us our youngest guest so far on the set, Sabina. Sabina, tell us all about yourself. You wrote this book, and I'm going to hold this up. It's called Forbidden Earth.
Yes.
Right? Tell us all about this book, how you got started, what inspired you. So many questions.
Yes, lots of questions today.
So this story is basically a futuristic sci-fi, and it takes place in a time when there are no more humans left on Earth.
Oh no.
And the Earth is ruled by a sort of biological computer, and Macy, the main character, and her spaceship is the first spaceship to land on Earth in centuries. But they land on an area called Forbidden Earth, which they think is an area where no BC would ever set foot. But they were wrong, and that's where the story starts to unfold.
So the humans have been chased away in the future?
It takes place in the past of this novel, but in our future.
Okay, in our future.
Let's rewind a little bit and let's find out, from when did you think of writing this book? What was your childhood like? At what point you realized that you want to write and publish a book?
So me, my dad, and my friend were sitting around discussing things that would make an interesting movie plot, and I wasn't capable of writing a movie, but I found this plot so intriguing that I decided to do the next best thing, which was publish the novel.
So how did the plot come about?
My dad is into scientific things, and I like reading fiction, just as any girl my age would. And so we decided to combine the two as we were talking together. And so the plot was formed as a sci-fi.
This is something you've been doing since you were really, really young, because you're already really young right now, but I mean, when did you first start writing? How old were you when you actually picked up the
I started writing this the summer before I entered 6th grade, so it took 1.5 years to write.
1.5 years, wow.
Now walk us through this process. We have many young viewers and who would want to know, because they have ideas, they have plots in their mind, but walk us through the process of that idea came to you, who supported you, and how much time did you spend every day or every week to get this whole project completed?
It was a major project, and I had to spend a lot of time after school. It was almost like an after-school kind of activity. Over summer, I would do it for hours for a day. I would just try to get through it as fast as possible, but still do a decent job on it so that it doesn't turn out rushed. But I'm still like young, and like my writing style is still developing, so I think my writing style changed a lot. I think that's why you should try to do it as fast as possible before.
So you're saying once you start writing, your writing style changes, and that develops novels.
So you felt like you're evolving as the book even was going on? Do you feel like that when you look back? So that's a good question for you then. When you write a chapter, do you move on to the next chapter and do you look back, or do you just kind of close that and move forward? How do you sort of do that?
While writing, I try to keep a continuous flow, but if I'm done writing for the day, then I'll maybe go back and revise. Okay. And if I wait a couple months and I go back to what I wrote like in the beginning of the process, I notice that my writing style has changed a lot, and I try to do some editing. So
when do you then draw the line and say, okay, I don't want to go back and make any more changes, like this is it? When is it?
If I've changed a sentence 2 or 3 times, I think that if I change it more, it'll just lose its creative flow. So I try not to change it too many times unless.
Now tell me about yourself. I'm very curious. You're 12 years old. Tell me about what you think is your strength and how you use that in your book.
I think when I started off, there was nothing special going on.
You were just an ordinary girl.
Yeah.
I like that.
With an extraordinary plot.
And a talent.
But yeah, my writing skill, it wasn't anything special or different. But I think the more you write, the more you realize what goes well with what kind of sentences you should use, texturing, and then you just get better as you write more and more.
Now this particular book, Forbidden Earth, is it available already online, or is it in the bookstores, Barnes & Noble? Where is this book?
It's on Amazon, and we have a Facebook page for it too.
Okay, and then any hopes to get it into some of the, whatever's left of the retail, booksellers and things like that? Are you working on that as well?
Yeah, we're trying to get it put in some libraries or bookstores, and so we'll be working on that.
Okay.
Now, who was your mentor? Looks like your father guided you through the process a lot because he was a part of that imagination when you sat with your friend and your dad. Who else was your mentor for this? And does one really need a mentor?
I think that if you're disciplined enough, then you'll be fine. But there's periods of times when you just feel like it's too much. But the parents' motivation is like enough to finish whatever you started.